Well, internal elections have begun in the BJP, and Veera, this is a precursor to the big national precedent announcement that is also expected soon. But moving on from Karnataka's political realities to Marathi versus Hindi in the state of Maharashtra, the monsoon session of the legislature kicked off with high drama on Monday in Maharashtra as leaders from the Maha staged a protest outside the Vidhan Bhavan in Mumbai over the government's controversial push to introduce Hindi as a compulsory third language in schools.
Well, the Maharashtra government has rolled back two controversial resolutions that had made Hindi compulsory as the third language from classes 1 to 5 in all primary schools. But the move sparked intense political backlash. And the protests by the Maha Alliance, and it also brought together the Thackeray cousins who accused the BJP-led government of pushing quote-unquote Hindi dominance at the cost of quote-unquote Marathi identity.
That is right, Veera. The state has now constituted a committee under educationist Dr. Narendra Jadhav, who is also an MP, and this committee will be re-examining its language policy under the National Education Policy Framework. Although the resolutions, like you rightly pointed out, have been withdrawn, there are concerns that remain with regard to Hindi being the language that will dominate in practice, especially as state rules that schools will have to offer non-Hindi language only if at least 20 students opt for it, and this is a clause that many see as exclusionary to regional and tribal languages. Let's look at some reactions to this story.
We've seen that the government has taken back the GR. Should this be seen as a symbolic victory of the opposition in the state?
See, this is a victory against the government of Maharashtra, who's trying to implement as is basis. Like if something is sent from Delhi, go and implement in your state. So this was not accepted by people of Maharashtra and the parties which are in opposition of the existing government in Maharashtra. So to make Hindi compulsory from 1st to 5th standard, we oppose that. We are not against Hindi, but we are against making Hindi compulsory for primary education.
तरीके से प्रदर्शन किया गया, आपने प्लेक कार्ड पकड़ा है कि त्रिभाषा जो सूत्र है वो उद्धव ठाकरे ही लेके आए थे, और फिर इतनी नौटंकी क्यों कर रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल, क्योंकि वो मुख्यमंत्री थे, डॉक्टर माशेलकर की समिति जो है माशेलकर की, वो तभी बनाई गई थी और उनका रिकमेंडेशन था त्रिभाषा सूत्र, ये पहले से हिंदुस्तान ने अपनाया है और इसका मराठी प्रेम नहीं दिख रहा था, हिंदी द्वेष दिख रहा था। क्यों? हिंदी हमारी भारतीय भाषा नहीं है क्या? एक इंटरव्यू में आदित्य ठाकरे ने कहा कि हमारी फ्रेंच है, हमारी जर्मन है, ये उनकी कब से हो गई?
Well, Marathi versus Hindi playing out there in Maharashtra. Rohit Chandavarkar joins us live. Rohit, this is going to be a tough road to walk for the BJP, which has pushed for this policy. I mean, the NEP policy in states like Tamil Nadu, despite firm opposition from parties like the DMK. It's going to be tough for the BJP to implement it in Maharashtra.
Veera, what we saw in the last few days is, unprecedented unity among the opposition parties. Remember, Maharashtra opposition parties, that is the Maha Aghadi, constitutes three parties, Sharad Pawar's party, Congress and Uddhav Thackeray, all of them coming together opposing this government resolution. But the interesting part, of course, which you all mentioned earlier, was that Raj Thackeray's MNS, which is kind of leaning towards BJP last few months, that party also expressed support, and there was going to be a big rally that was going to be taken out coming Saturday, where we could have seen Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, the estranged brothers, coming together, a very filmy Bollywood kind of a event where, estranged brothers come together, cousins coming together, etc. Of course, that has been now dropped. The rally is now off because the government has cancelled the resolution related to Hindi language. But yes, your point is right. The BJP is going to find it a little difficult to push this, but they have a huge majority in the Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha, the assembly. Right. So they will just wait for this thing to die down. Another very interesting aspect is Eknath Shinde, Shiv Sena leader, right, who was completely silent and quiet during all these controversies, today coming out in social media and claiming in regional media that it is his victory, which is kind of very ironical and funny thing that we are watching in Maharashtra media.
Right. Rohit, also help us understand how is a party like NCP also getting into this controversy by supporting Marathi, and there are also cabinet ministers, Mr. Bhuse, Dada Bhuse in the past, and Ajay Uike now, who are also showing their support to making sure that the three language policy does not take shape in the state. How do you look at this kind of reactions?
Vasudha, to give a national, perspective to your viewers across India, what I'd like to point out is, the issue of son of soil or Marathi is kind of dying down in the last few years. That is the wider perspective that I'm giving you, mainly because of, large number of migrants coming and living in cities like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, and other cities, and the demographic of those cities changing, and political parties realizing that the issue of Marathi doesn't really appeal to voters, and other issues, maybe financial or other emotional issues like Hindutva or other issues, are kind of more important for the voters from their point of view. But suddenly on this issue, this time, mainly because of the media, the regional media creating a lot of pressure, and vibrant personalities like Raj Thackeray coming out and protesting and holding multiple press conferences, etc. This time, suddenly, the BJP-led government experienced that the Marathi issue was also kind of, blown up. And this was not kind of expected by even like people like me or others. We didn't think that, this will blow up into this big a controversy. And Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, and Ajit Pawar, the ruling coalition members, right now you're watching those visuals in one window, held a press conference yesterday evening in Nagpur just ahead of the Maharashtra Assembly session, and they had to announce that they are cancelling this plan. So for the first time in perhaps 1 or 2 decades, we have seen just similar to Tamil Nadu or Karnataka maybe, the language issue kind of picking up in Maharashtra. That is a very significant thing, and it would be very interesting to watch how the BJP-led Mahayuti government handles this situation in the coming weeks and months, Vasudha.
Right. Interesting, Rohit, that you're saying this, because one astute political observer had once remarked that language and identity politics are like dormant volcanoes. You never know when they can erupt and blow out. So it's not just about numbers. We'll see how this plays out. Thanks very much, Rohit Chandavarkar, for joining us there and giving us the overview.